What's the best way to study the Bible? Always pay attention to original language. Do your best to do that. An example. You remember when the Bible said this here? Did you know that this verse created problems for a lot of people? Be fruitful and multiply and do what? Who was God talking to? God was talking to Adam and Eve. Adam and Eve, what's significant about Adam and Eve? They were the first people on earth, is that right? So wait a minute, if they're the first people on earth, how could they replenish the earth? Are you following? To replenish something means that something was already what? There. Do you know how many people have said, you see, the Bible's not telling the whole story? Because God told Adam and Eve to replenish the earth. Now, how can we fix this? Because that, by definition, that's what the word replenish means. To replenish is to put something back that was there. How do we fix this if Adam and Eve were the first people there? It's very easy. It's original language. What does the word in red, what does it mean to replenish? To fill. Do you see that? So when God was saying, be fruitful and multiply and do what? Fill the earth. That's all God was saying. You understand that? My Muslim brother came to me and I said, hey man, I said, listen, do you believe in Jesus Christ? No, I'm a Muslim. I don't believe in Jesus Christ. In fact, I think you Christians are contradictory. I said, why? He says, because we Muslims, we are monotheistic. We worship only one God. You Christians, you're polytheistic. And I said, why do you say that? He said, because Jesus is like some lesser God that was created, and that is abomination to us as Muslims. And I said, really? I said, where'd you get that from? He said, your most famous Christian text, John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his only what? How could Jesus be God and be begotten? Man, they had a problem with that. They had a big issue with that. How could he be begotten? How could God be begotten? And he had an issue with that, and he said, Dwayne, I don't want to hear anything about you and your God. I said, my brother, you have never read the original language for that word begotten, have you? He said, no, I have not. He said, but begotten means begotten. It means brought forth. You're saying that Jesus, God, was brought forth? I said, no, brother. I said, I think you should look at the original. He says, well, what does the original mean? I said, it's beautiful. You see, when you think of the word begotten, you're right. It does mean brought forth. But there are two Greek words for brought forth or begotten. One is called monogeneo, which means brought forth, something created, like when a mother brings forth a child. I said, but that's not the word used in John 3:16. I said, the word used in John 3:16 is something called monogenes. I said, you want to know what monogenes means? He said, what does it mean? I said, the only one of its kind. I said, in other words, if I could rephrase John 3:16, here's what it was really saying. For God so loved you that he gave the only one of his kind, that you should not perish, but have everlasting life. I said, what God do you know that loves you that much? He said, man, I've never heard it like that before. And I said, I realize that, but I'm telling you, I said, this is the truth. God gave his best that you might be saved. So you're going to find that a lot of times when you study the Bible, look at the original language. Pay attention to that because it can speak volumes.